The Many Characters of Doctor Who. Entry 17. Stephen Taylor. Stephen Taylor was a companion of the First Doctor who appeared in 10 stories consisting of 45 episodes from 1965 to 1966. He is a human originating from some time between the 23rd and 28th century, who boarded the TARDIS as a stowaway following the events of the chase and travelled alongside the First Doctor and several female companions including Vicky, Katarina, Sarah and Dodo. He is far more physically powered than mentally so, but has a strong sense of right and wrong and puts immense value on human life. He was portrayed by Peter Purves and reappeared in the Tales of the TARDIS spin-off alongside Vicky in the Memory TARDIS, where he recalls the events of their first trip in the TARDIS together when they defeated the meddling monk in the story The Time Meddler. During the events of the Daleks' master plan, Stephen develops close bonds with Brett Viron, Katarina and Sarah Kingdom, and is left devastated when they get shot to death, sucked out of an airlock and aged to death, respectively. These stick with him, and when he believes that a young woman called Anne Chaplet has died as a result of the massacre of St. Bartholomew's Eve, he blames the Doctor for not trying to change history and contemplates leaving him before Dodo Chaplet runs into the TARDIS and, due to her close resemblance to the young girl, her shared surname and her family's French history, gives some hope that Anne was able to survive that night. He goes on to have several adventures with Dodo and the Doctor before leaving to help society rebuild itself at the end of the story, The Savages. Stephen states during the Tales of the TARDIS that he is still king of the planet that he chose to stay on after leaving the Doctor, and that he went on to have children and then grandchildren. In audio dramas, Stephen has met the Doctor again, although this time in his 5th incarnation. The audio dramas also tell of Oliver Harper, who also died whilst travelling briefly with the First Doctor and Stephen. Peter Purves had originally auditioned to play a giant insect in The Web Planet, but, upon failing to get this part, was told another part was in mind for him. He then went on to play Morton Dill in The Chase, and got on with William Hartnell, who played the First Doctor, and Maureen O'Brien, who played Vicky, so well that they recommended him to be the next companion. Stephen was originally meant to have the name Brooke, and then was briefly called Michael before it was finally decided to call him Stephen. Stephen was born in England on the 10th of February and was raised as a Protestant Christian. He was raised primarily by his mother and his grandmother, the latter of whom died when he was a teenager. He enjoyed amateur dramatics in his spare time. He is most likely bisexual.